Do you feel nervous during presentations? Maybe your legs start shaking, your heart starts beating fast, and your breath gets shallow. Don't worry, today I'm going to share with you some techniques that you can use to deliver excellent presentations, even if you are a shy person. But first, let me tell you a little bit about my background story. I was not always this good at speaking. In fact, when I was in school, I was a very shy kid. I didn't even have the courage to ask questions from teachers, let alone getting on stage and doing presentations. Speeches and presentations were the things I hated the most because I was so terrible at them. I would not go to school on days I had some sort of presentation coming up. I would actively try to avoid speeches and presentations to save myself from embarrassment. But then one day I thought to myself, why am I running away from this? What's the reason? Why am I so afraid of speaking in front of people? The more I thought about this, the more I realized that I was afraid of doing presentations because I thought to myself, what if I make a mistake and I get stuck and my friends laugh at me? Which is why every time I would public speak, I would get super nervous, my forehead and palms would get sweaty, and my voice would kind of sound weird and squeaky. Finally, I had enough of this. I decided to change my presentation skills. I decided to fix my presentation skills, and I did. I learned and followed some techniques that helped me a lot, which I'm going to share with you. The first step is to get out of your head. What do I mean? When we're delivering a speech or a presentation, we think too much and worry too much about how we are coming across. We think to ourselves, am I looking good? Is my hair looking good? Am I qualified enough to talk about this subject? What if my audience doesn't like me? What if they notice this thing about me? What if the people notice that I have some acne on my face? We all have these different concerns, and unluckily, we think about these things and we remember these things during our speech, which makes us uneasy and nervous, and then thinking about being nervous makes us even more nervous. Before we know, we are in this deep, weird cycle, and by the end, our presentation is messed up. To stop this from happening, you need to get the hell out of your head. During your presentation, take a deep breath and focus on what you want to say in the presentation. That's it. Remember that the presentation is not about you. It's about and for the audience. They don't care about how your hair looks and how your clothes look and how you smell. These things are important, of course, but they don't care about that. They want to learn something from you, so teach them. Focus on helping them more and stop worrying about yourself. This will help you get more relaxed. The second step is to become more animated. Like, move your body, go to the left, go to the right during your presentation. Don't just stand still in one place. Like, move your hands around, become more animated. Don't be static. Move your hands around, like move your body around. Have something visual for the audience. This makes what you say more believable and more impactful. Also, it stops you from being boring. When you stand still in just one place and you're doing your presentations like this, and you have no facial expressions and you don't have any body language, then you sound boring to other people. But if you move around, like you have your hands moving and you're showing different facial expressions, and you're also moving back and forth on the stage, then you're more animated, you're more interesting. Remember, you're not on a podcast. People can see you, so give them something to see. Give them some visuals to see by moving your body around. I guarantee if you do that, your presentations won't be boring, they will be more interesting. The next step to delivering amazing presentations is to hold an eye contact and avoid fillers. These two might seem very simple and easy things to do, yet most people don't do them when they public speak. Eye contact is absolutely essential. It makes the person you're talking to more engaged and more interested in what you want to say. I will give you an example. If you feel nervous and shy during your presentations, don't worry, I'm going to share with you some techniques and strategies that you can use to deliver your conversations and your presentations confidently. If you feel shy and nervous during your presentations, don't worry, I'm going to share with you some strategies that you can use to deliver your presentations confidently. Do you see the difference? There's the power of eye contact. If you're having a single conversation, like if you're talking to only one person, then hold eye contact with them. Look them in the eyes when you speak. But in presentations, you can't do that because there's not only one person sitting. Like you have 30 or 40 students. If you're delivering a presentation in school or university, then there are, a lot of students. So you can't really look into one person's eyes because, like, it might seem like you're staring at one person. So what can you do instead? When you are delivering a presentation to like a group of people, say one sentence and look at one person, and then when you make another point, look at another person, and then for a while look at another one, and then for a while look at another person. So this way you will be able to hold eye contact with your audience. What you don't want to do is look upward or look downward or look to the sides. You want to look at people, you want to look into people's eyes. The next thing is filler words like kinda, like, I'll tell you, These are all filler words and they sound really, really bad in presentations. When we are thinking, um, we tend to use these filler words, and it's kind of annoying. I'm sure you can't stand it by now. It doesn't sound nice. The way you avoid these filler words or filler phrases is by taking a pause. So we use these filler words like when we are thinking about what we want to say next in our presentation. What can you do instead? You can take a pause. A pause doesn't sound bad. Filler words do. When you're thinking about the next sentence, take a pause and then say that sentence. It's not quite difficult, is it? Have you been noticing these pauses? They sound and they make my presentation and my video sound nicer. Pauses are more effective than filler words, so incorporate them into your presentations. The next thing that's really going to transform your presentations is scripting versus non-scripting. Should you script your presentation word for word, or should you just improvise? Should you just say whatever comes to your mind? There are many different debates and opinions about this, but I think scripting word for word is not good, because people can easily tell whether you've memorized your presentation or not. And when you memorize your presentation and then you deliver it, it sounds very boring, it sounds very robotic, and people dislike that because it sounds very unnatural. And that's why personally I never write a word for word script for my presentations, my speeches, and also my YouTube videos. Unless you're in a very high stakes situation. For instance, if you're given a speech at the United Station. I was supposed to say United Nation. Unless you're in a high stakes situation, for instance, if you're given a speech at the United Nations, then okay, write a word for word script. But in most cases, the risk is not too high, meaning like when you're delivering a presentation in school, if you make any mistakes, it's fine, like you're not gonna die because of that. And also, like, nobody cares about that because only maybe 30 or 40 students out there. So who cares if you made like a pronunciation mistake? Who cares if I said United Station instead of United Nation? Like, nobody cares about that. That's why you don't need to write a word for word script. It's okay if you make mistakes. It's okay if you go on a little bit of tangent and speak a little bit irrelevant to the topic during your presentation. Make sure you speak from the heart, and that will only happen if you've not scripted your presentation and memorized it. But also keep in mind, don't go unprepared. If you don't have a clue what you want to say during your presentation, then your presentation or your speech will be all over the place. It will be unorganized. You might get even more nervous, and your confidence level will be low because you'll feel like you don't remember what you want to say, and stuff like that will happen to you if you go unprepared. In my opinion, the best way to prepare for your presentation is to write the bullet points. Write what you want to say, but don't write how you want to say that. For instance, you can write like 5 to 10 points that you want to mention in your presentation, and then go on stage and mention those points. Add things as they come in your mind, explain those things, give examples, and that's it. The last step that is going to help you deliver amazing presentations is to get the reps in. This is a very common phrase in the bodybuilding gym community. In case you haven't noticed, I have been working out for a while. I don't know if you can see the biceps, but if you watch my older videos, you will see that I was like a lot skinnier. Anyways, many newbies come to the gym, they work out for 1 month and then they say, "Hey bro, I'm not seeing any results. I'm not noticing any changes in my body." To such people, the trainers say, get the reps in, which means get the repetitions in. Repeat your exercises more, practice more, work out more, spam the bench press exercise, then your chest will grow. This is the same when it comes to giving speeches and delivering presentations. You need to practice more. If you've done only 7 presentations in your entire life, no wonder why your presentation skills are not good. No wonder why your presentation skills are not improving. And no wonder why you get nervous. You need more experience. A beginner who has not done any sort of public speaking in the last 5 years might look at someone like me and say, why I'm not like Asim? Why I can't present in front of people like Asim? Why I can't do presentations like Asim? But that person doesn't know that I've made more than 120 videos on my YouTube channel. I have done a lot of a bunch of presentations in high school and university. The point I'm trying to make here is that you and I are very alike. The only difference probably is that I have done more practice than you. I have more experience than you. I have done more bicep curls than you. That's why I have gotten bigger arms than you. So get the reps in. Get the repetitions in and you will improve as well. Don't shy away from presentations like I did in the beginning. If you get an opportunity to present yourself in front of an audience, seize that opportunity. Do it, even if you're scared. Have some courage. Get on stage again and again and again, even if you're nervous, even if you're afraid. Follow these techniques one by one. Choose one technique and apply it on your next presentation. I guarantee you will be able to deliver amazing presentations after you practice these things more. If you enjoyed this video, then you might be interested in that video as well, in which I shared some strategies and techniques that you can use to articulate well and speak in a clearer way so that people want to listen to you. Okay, bye for now. See you in the next one.